Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's continue with the group dynamic series. Today is going to be the turn of the group Treasure. So as you know, probably fans know, Treasure has 12 members in total. So this is going to be like a very concise video. I'm going to go straight to the point so I don't make you being around here for a very long time, because they are like a lot of members, like not so much, it's not so different from the boys videos. The boys are I believe they are 11, so you know, Treasure having 12 members is not that different. But with the boys, this had been the first video I made like a very long intro, and I'm trying to work on this so I do not make the video longer and go straight to the point. So please have patience and bear with me, please. So in this case, I didn't put the name tags because it looks like really awful. I mean, it didn't look pretty at all, and it was very confusing to see the cards and the names in between. So I'm going to mention them just the way I got their names of Google. So I hope I'm doing it correctly, and if you are fans of them, and if you somehow realize or catch any kind of mistake that I do about the information, please, if you want to educate me, like I'm still learning about them, so be respectful, of course. But if I make a mistake, please, like, help me to actually like clarify this. So let's start with the first member that the card that he got is the card of the devil. So we definitely start with a very strong card here. And the member that I'm talking about is Watanabe Haruto. Is it? I know that there are, I think that they have like 4 Japanese members and 8 Korean members. So yes, because I see a lot of Japanese names here. I hope I pronounce them correctly. I already struggle with Korean, but you know, I'm getting there. So yes, like I'm going to call him Haruto. Is it okay? And he got the card of the devil, so it's really interesting. I believed I had heard his name before because somehow he is on my list of personal reading requests. Someone actually requested me a personal, in general and personality tarot reading for him. So maybe he is very popular, like among the group. And I can see this here because the first card that he got, it's the card of the devil. So what does he bring to the group? He brings to the group this sort of enigma and this very strong and magnetic presence that is very hard to resist. So probably he does have a sort of temper, or he does have a sort of magnetism, and he's very attractive in the sense that it's not about attractiveness, it's not about looks, it's more about him having the, you know, the ability to draw you in, you know, to probably be very like you cannot take your eyes away from him. So if he is one of the most populars among the ladies or among the nunas, it's like I kind of get it. Like I think I didn't see like a lot of pictures of him, so I wouldn't be able to tell. But I think that this magnetism and this it's like somehow people cannot get enough of him. So probably what he does bring to the group is this sort of magnetic and this very hypnotic kind of a stage presence, you know, of this very like personality, or probably his looks. There is a combination of a lot of things, you know. So it seems like once he becomes your bias, or once you get like infatuated with him, it seems like you cannot go any further except go deeper, you know. It seems like he has this effect on people, you know, and probably this happens to the other members as well. Probably they have like this sort of like love-hate relationship with how they feel about him. And I'm not saying that they hate each other. I'm saying it I'm saying this phrase from the perspective of when you just do not want to like that person very much. You just want to, avoid getting too like too intense, probably like really liking someone. You are like, okay, yes, I like you, but I wish I could stop liking you, because I want to remain like neutral, and he does have this sort of attractiveness. And he also could have this potential side of him of being a lot of people's fantasies. This is why I think he does have a sort of like aura. There's something about him that you just cannot escape from. And this is why he's ruled by the devil card. And I think that he is an Aries, so it would make sense that he does have this very strong arcana card, because the devil card, it's very deep, it's not about the devil, guys, so don't be like afraid, or don't have those preconceptions. The devil card talks more about those things that we have an attachment to, so we cannot let go of them easily, even if we know that it hurts us or is not beneficial for us. It could be like a sort of addiction. This is why I think that probably his personality, or the nature of his personality, maybe he's a bit mischievous, in the sense that probably he is a bit like, he does have this character, and somehow you just cannot stay mad at him. Probably he does have this way of convincing people to love him anyway. So there's a bit of mischievousness in him, a bit of dangerous nature, a little bad guy image. So I don't know if I'm correct. Maybe the fans can help me figure out. So then the other member, this member got the Seven of Pentacles, and this member is called Hamada Asahi. Yes, I believe he is another Japanese member. He is, yes, I will call him Asahi. His name also rings a bell for me, because I know that he was requested in a friendship reading with other member. I remember his name, Asahi. So yes, probably they are on my list. And he got the Seven of Pentacles, and it's Seven of Pentacles. It's a really beautiful card, but it also talks about you having to be like patient. You having to build this patience. Probably for him, he is a bit of, I wouldn't say workaholic, but probably he is too perfectionist, in the sense that he is still like perfection in his style or his talents. He's like practicing a lot. I think that he's very self-aware. He's very like aware of himself, and he's like, no, I need to change this, I need to do this. His nature probably is a bit nervous, in the sense that he's a bit strict with himself, but I was paying attention that he's a Leo, so obviously there's a side of him that he is very like very entertaining and very like light in his spirit, and also he shines probably in front of a camera. But there's something about him in this Seven of Pentacles that lets me know that he sees himself at this project on progress. Probably he wants to be better. It's like he thinks that he needs to work harder on achieving things. Probably he's not satisfied with the content, not with the content, with the concept that he has been given, or there's something about him like wanting to give more. And it's understandable, because there are so many members that actually him actually feeling like, yes, I need to give my best, and I need to keep up with the rest. I think that it's very normal. It's actually very realistic. This is why he got the Seven of Pentacles, because I always mention that the Pentacles suits also talk about reality. and also talks about you getting the results, the physical results, you know, like you actually being able to see with your own eyes, to touch with your own hands, you know, to be like turn into reality your efforts, you know, probably you seen, I don't know if maybe he has like some kind of goal of himself, or probably getting certain views, or actually him getting certain recognition. There's something that he's definitely very passionate about, and he would want it to actually be more like having like more recognition, or like getting more propositions for work. I don't know if they do present themselves individually. I do not know about this, but I see him like being very like ambitious, but not in the sense of I want to do a solo career, just in the sense of him wanting to give his best. You know, I think that he looks at himself and he's like, I could do better, you know, like I'm not 100% satisfied. But he's really humble. He just doesn't express it right away. But I think that this sort of self-awareness is also what also influences the others to being like him, you know, to be also humble like him, and being like, oh yes, if he sees that he has things to work on, maybe I should do it too. So he is very self-aware, you know, he's very connected with his resources. And like I mentioned, he's also very ambitious. It seems like he knows perfectly what he wants to aim to. You know, probably he does have like a goal. He does have it like written down somewhere, you know. So I can totally see him like getting there. It's just that with the Seven of Pentacles, I would definitely advise him to have patience with himself, you know, to be compassionate with himself, to not rush, because I think that he will get to where he wants to be, but for him to see the results, it will take a lot of time. So he is there, you know, he's already on the process, but he needs to be patient. He needs to keep like keep working, but not obsessing with the results. And then we have the other member that is Junkyu, yes, Junkyu. I know I'm not saying his name correctly because it does sound weird, but I believe that this is a Korean name. Yes, Junkyu. Yeah, Junkyu. And he got the Hierophant, and he is a Virgo. So maybe if there aren't many Virgos in this room, in this group, actually you can tell who I'm talking about. So Hunkyu, actually he got the card of the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is someone that is very like stable. Probably he's really good at teaching others what he knows, and he does have a sort of like temple, a sort of aura of authority. Probably the way he talks or the way he expresses himself, he seems to be like older than what he is. Probably he has a good mannerism, or he is very polite, or he has this kind of seriousness about him that just makes you think like he must be older than actually what he is, or an old soul, you know. And he is also someone very stable. Also, I think that here with the Hierophant, he could be some kind of role model for the others, because I think that he's very diligent, and probably he's someone that he sticks to the rules. You know, he probably just doesn't get out of his way too often. You know, probably he does what he's been told. He behaves well. You know, he's very polite. You know, and his personality is very structured. You know, especially he sticks to old traditions, you know, to what he knows. So probably, I don't know if maybe his upbringing has something to do with this, but actually what he does bring to the group is this sort of like a foundation. He seems like very stable, you know. He seems like he's always in the same, he seems very reliable, and at the same time he seems like he doesn't have like mood changes, you know, or anything like this. He seems like very stable. This is here he it makes sense that he's a Virgo, because it seems like he is like, you can see, you know, the you know, the routine, the routinary self. I don't know why, but I think that he's someone that follows routines, you know, probably does the same things over and over, or has his own like his own rituals. You know, he has a way of doing things, and this has to do with his work and with him being an idol. So I think that probably he likes to stay organized, you know, and at the same time, what he does bring to the group's dynamic is this sense of order. You know, he somehow is very like very controlled. You know, it seems like he has everything like very tidy, very organized, very perfect looking. So you're like, wow, I envy you. Like I envy your calmness. You know how tempered you are. How it seems like they are like in the right place at the right time. You know, everything about them looks immaculate. I don't know why, but he looks really mature also. And I think that he does have a sort of influence, because I can see that probably he's not very emotional, or probably he's not very of showing how he really feels. But when he opens his mouth, I can see everyone like staring at him, you know, being like, wow, look what he says. So probably he's really smart as well. He's someone that is very educated, you know, probably his points of view are very different, you know, from people of his age. So let's move on to Hyunsuk. Hyunsuk, yes. Hyunsuk, he got the Five of Swords. Hyunsuk. So he's a Taurus. And actually, Hyunsuk with the card of the Five of Swords, the Five of Swords is the card of loss, actually. So it means that probably unconsciously he does have a fear of losing something. You know, probably he's someone that behaves really in a very cautious way. He's always like reminding the others to behave, you know, to do the things correctly, to not miss opportunities, you know, to not take things for granted. Probably in his life, or in his in the process of him debuting or training or something like that, he went through a lot of disappointments, you know. So there's something in his nature that he remembers what he lost, or probably he remembers how he felt when he lost opportunities, or when someone said no to him, or when someone didn't give him the chance, you know. So I think that probably he's the person that in his speech you actually are going to hear him a lot, you know, talking about past experiences. And I think that he does it not to make the others feel uncomfortable, but just like to make them connect with a reality check, you know, in the sense that you don't have to get all like cocky or too like proud of yourself just because you are part of a group. It's like it doesn't mean that you made it, you know. It means that you are allowed to advance, but you still need to put the hard work, you know. So probably he went through some kind of loss in his life, so he's very attached to that feeling of fear. Of course that he definitely needs to work on this, because probably this fear of losing can make him seem a bit possessive, you know, and a bit obsessive to not lose, you know, like he's too concentrated on not losing things, or on just not messing up or something like that, that he just pressures himself a lot. And probably this translates also to the group. So it would be really good that actually the other members, while they're having a conversation, that actually they are able to tell him this, you know, that he can relax, that these things that he went through, they belong to the past, you know, and that now they are on a new path. And that definitely we have to acknowledge his experience, because actually what he went through is valid, and it serves of example for others that probably had it easier. But at the same time, let's not stay too long, you know, in this sentiment of feeling like a failure because you lost in your past, you know, because now they're pretty successful. So I think that he needs to slowly move on of that unconscious fear, you know. So let's move on to the fifth member that got the Ace of Cups. And this member is called Mashiho. I assume he's another Japanese member. Mashiho, yes. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Machiho, actually, he's an Aries too. He's an Aries. And he got the Ace of Cups. So definitely he is beautiful, because the Ace of cards here in this deck is the card of beauty. And I think that there's something about him. Probably what is beautiful about Machiho is that he actually there's something about his nature that seems like he is a bit like a child, like there's beauty in his quote unquote innocence. I think that he does give this very spontaneous nature, this is very Aries, but he does it in a way that is so graceful that actually what he brings to the others is this openness to express his emotions. Probably the Ace of Cups, it's a beautiful card, and it's a card of openness. So what he does bring to the group, it's to be honest, to be straightforward about how you feel, and to not hide it. If you're feeling defeated, or if you're feeling happy, or if you're feeling sad, you can talk about it, and I think that this is what he brings to the group. He brings to the group that since he enables himself to open up to these people, to these members, and talk about how he really feels. Actually, what he does is he sets an example that it's okay to be emotional, and that it's okay to have feelings, and it's okay to sometimes, I don't know, want to cry a little, or want to, and crying, it doesn't mean necessarily to cry about sad things. It can be crying because of you feeling proud of yourself, and that feeling inside of you being so big and overwhelming that you cannot help to cry, So I see him like a very very connected with his inner child, There's something about him being really being really transparent. It seems like he's an open book, like you can really read him, and this is what he brings to the group, this honesty, this transparency. This is why in the Ace of Cups, you actually can see how the waters are falling off the cups, and they are floating inside, because when you think about water, you think about movement, you think about fluency, and you also think about transparency. So I think that he's someone that he will always tell you straight to your face how he feels about things, and about, in this case, about the group, because we are talking about the group. So he is very honest. So this is what he brings. And he also, since I mentioned that it's openness, he also allows the others to be more open about how they really feel. So it's like he opens the gates, he probably brings up a subject, or says something in particular, or talks about a certain theme that no one has talked about before, and he just opens the gates for the others to join, So let's move on to Yoshinori. Yoshinori. Yes, Yoshinori. Yoshi. I believe it's like the long version of Yoshi. Yoshinori. Okay, I'm going to call him Yoshi. And he got the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles, it's a card that actually talks about well-being, and about, you being actually very imbalanced, in very balanced person, like you are connecting with the well-being, with your body and soul, So, and I know he says here that he's a Taurus. So there's something about him connecting with his body, with his beauty, with his talents, that it seems like he is a very healthy person. But not only healthy, because this is important for an idol to be healthy, actually. I think that we don't talk, we do not mention health actually very, very often when we talk about idols. We talk about mental issues, mental stress, but we do not talk often about well-being, about being healthy physically. So in this case, he does have it, and I think that this is a very strong attribute, and there's a reason why he has it. Is because he is a very harmonized person. Probably his mindset and the way he feels and the way he uses his body, they are all connected, you know, and probably there's a lot of congruency inside of him, you know. That I think that he's someone that he just flows with life, you know. He's someone, I think that he's also very cheerful, so there's something about him that is really beautiful, that is very pure. He makes me feel really good inside. I don't know if he is, I think that he is someone that he doesn't like confrontations. Probably he's very soft spoken, or he is very like laid back, you know. He doesn't want to get into arguments, you know. He sometimes could be this kind of person that avoids having confrontations or avoids talking about certain things to not disturb the peace. But nevertheless, he seems to be someone that he's very like balanced inside. So this well-being is something that he brings. Probably if they're all having a tough time, he could be the one that says like, oh no, I'm okay, you know, like, oh, are you worried that, I don't know, do you have an issue with something, there's something that you need, and he will be like, no, I'm okay, I'm okay. So in this sense, he's also very stable. There's something very stable about his nature, and that he's ready, you know. He's ready to work. I see him like very hardworking as well. I see him like this kind of person that this is why this is connected, this well-being is connected with the physical body, because he puts his body to work, you know. Besides his character and his personal attributes, he puts his body, you know. Probably he's someone that doesn't express that much with words how he really feels, but he's someone that he's just there, you know. He's very stable. So this is very admirable of him, actually. So then the other member that we got, it's the member that is, his name is Jungwon, yes, Jungwon. He got the Two of Pentacles. Jungwon, it's an Aquarius. So yes, the Two of Pentacles is the card of unity. So this is very Aquarius, actually. That he seems to be like the glue. Like there's something about him, like he allowing the group to come together, you know, because this card, it's about you, you know, moving and growing, and you building this sort of unity in the group. You are sort of the one that initiates the movement. So I see, since he's an air sign, I'm sorry. I see him like him being this kind of person that he just adapts, you know. He's very free, he's very spontaneous as well. So I see him like him being very adaptable, in the sense that like a chameleon, you know. He's like, okay, what do you need from me? What do you want from me? You know, I will be there. Like he will do whatever it takes to keep the unity in the group. So he's very selfless at the same time. And also here with unity, I think that he could potentially, this member, Jungwon, he could be the one that actually initiates conversations. Probably he is like a networker, you know, like the one that talks to all the members separately, you know, and then he gathers them together and talk about a subject. So he could be like the networker in the group, because he brings this sort of unity. And how do you unite people? You know, you make this union to happen when actually you are able to have like a lot of different connections with all of them, you know. And some, you know, in groups sometimes it does happen that you get along better with some members than others. But in his case, I can see him like moving around between the members, you know, being like, okay, today I have fun with you, and tomorrow I will go and spend time with the other. He just adapts, you know. He's very flexible, and I think that and he's a good communicator at the same time. So this is great. He's very like I like his energy. And I think that this is very important in group, you know, because from what I can see here until this, we have like 5 members left. I see like a lot of earth energy here, a lot of earth, a lot of fire also, fire energy and earth energy. So him being like the first air sign that I read for here in the group, the first, yes, the Aquarius in the guy, the Aquarius in the group. It's like a breath of, it's like a breeze of new of it's like a fresh breeze, you know. It's like, wow, yes, finally it comes, because the other signs, they bring the fire, they bring the straightforwardness, you know, they bring the stability, they bring the compromise, but there he comes with the community, which is very important to have in a group dynamic. It's very important to have it. And then let's move on to the other member that got the Page of Pentacles, and this member is Doyoung. Doyoung, yes, Doyoung. Doyoung's name also seems familiar. I think he is in this reading that they requested me. Doyoung is a Sagittarius. So Doyoung is also someone that is very comfortable, actually. Like, I don't know what he had been working on, but it seems like he's very successful, you know, because when you have like a Page of Pentacles, that Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, King or Queen of Pentacles, it means that you are already like seeing the results of your work, you know. So probably he is like seeing a few coins, he's like seeing a few pentacles. And I see him like him really being comfortable with, probably he's very comfortable with his talents and with what he brings to the group. And I see him like him having no regrets, you know, him being like, oh yes, like what I'm doing is like, is giving something to the group. So he feels like really comfortable, you know, he feels like he is contributing to something valuable in the group. That I think that for him is really important to actually feel like he is useful somehow, you know. This is why this princess is here, you know. The pentacle talks about you working the land, you know. Now we do not work the land, but in this tarot decks, sometimes when you see characters, you see them, especially the pentacles, you see them like doing a lot of handmade things, like working with their hands, you know, putting the efforts with their body. So in the case of Doyoung, I see him like finally like giving his all when it comes to efforts, and he like sitting down and be like, okay, now I can breathe, I can relax, I can enjoy, I'm proud of myself, I done everything that I could, I'm proud of the results, so I will just relax. So probably he's not someone that he just is also very spontaneous. This is very fire sign also. He's very spontaneous in the sense that he feels like he is where he needs to be. He is where he belongs. So definitely there's a sense of pride here, you know, of looking back and being like, oh yes, I done this, I built this. So he considers himself a very important part of the group, and in this confidence in his attributes and in what he brings is what actually keeps also a sort of like you can count on him. You know, this is what he brings to the group dynamic. It's good to have people that know their worth, you know, and that they recognize that they are really good, you know, at least in the role, that what they contribute with, that they feel comfortable, that they don't have any you know, when you are regretful or you have regrets. So it's good. So then let's move on to Jungwon. Jungwoo, he got the card of justice. So Jungwoo is, and it makes sense because he's a Libra. He is the Libra of the group. I don't think there's other Libra. I think that he's the second the second member with an air sign, yes, he's a Libra, Jungwoo. Jungwoo, yes, he got the justice. So he is someone that probably is very straightforward about, what is just, and probably he always likes to make everyone feel comfortable in the sense of giving others, giving all actually the opportunity to express themselves and to participate in the dynamics of the group. Probably he's someone that if he is in a meeting with the others, he will always be talking about or allowing the others to have the words, and to have their moments to express themselves. Probably he's also very selfless in the sense that he really cares for others. He really cares for others because he wants to do what is right. There's a very strong righteous character in him, that he just wants all the members to feel equally important, and probably for him it's also important to hear them all, and also to be neutral, to give the others a space, or to be a sort of reminder that they all need to speak up, or that they all need to have their moments to express themselves, that there shouldn't be one member that is left without saying a word. I think that for him participation and the participation of all the members is important. Probably this has to do because there are members that probably have like stronger tempers than others, and there are others that are probably shy or are a bit more on the introvert, so they don't feel comfortable like speaking their minds. But I think that in the case of Jungwoo, actually he actually, for him it's important to be very receptive and to consider the members, and he doesn't want them to, he wants to be fair with them all, he wants all of them to have their moment and things to be equal for all of them. And I think that this is very important, guys. This is very important because here we're talking about a group with a lot of members. So obviously the dynamic of a group with 5, 6 or 7 members is not the same as having 11, 12 members. It's not the same. They have to work extra hard to actually promote this that Jungwoo is promoting. That is to not leave anyone sitting in the corner like being there in the corner, like nodding and just not participating, not speaking their minds, not engaging in conversations. You need to open the communication because then misunderstandings happen when you do not allow each one of the members to express themselves. It doesn't matter if they tell a joke, if they do not know what to say, if they just are laughing hysterically because they're nervous. It doesn't matter. It's their moment. It's important to give all their moments. So I think that for him, he could be actually a really good advocate because he is very righteous. I like his energy. This is very important, actually, what he brings. And then let's move on to Jihoon. Jihoon, yes, Jihoon. Jihoon is a Pisces. He is a Pisces. And Jihoon, he got the card of the Tower. So Jihoon definitely is someone that, yes, he's someone that he also has a lot of inner fears. I don't know what's going on with these people with inner fears. Probably they do have a lot of responsibilities on their shoulders. This is why they fear so much. He has the fear of actually things falling apart. Probably he's someone that he does care a lot for the group's dynamic. Yes, he's a Pisces, so there's like a lot of emotions here. There's a lot of sensitivity here, and probably he does fear to lose the sense of family. Probably for him it's important to build this sort of atmosphere where all members feel like they are part of a family, that they are all equally important, that they all matter, that they are loved, that they can count on each other, you know. But sometimes I think that he does feel a bit unstable emotionally, especially because here of the tower is like he fears things getting out of control, you know. Probably if he does have a lot of responsibilities, this has to do with this, you know. Probably he wants to do right, and he's like, he wants to build a sort of, you know, like an atmosphere of a family, you know. He wants to build this family like environment. So sometimes he feels like he can connect with others more than the others. So it's like I can see him like trying to get all the kid, I say the kids because I imagine him like being this kind of mother, these very motherly vibes, you know. He's trying to get all his children, you know, like all of them together, or play together, like have fun together, do things together, like do not separate, you know. And he just like worries too much, you know. This is why I think that this is very motherly, because it seems like he's very overprotective, you know. There's something about him not wanting to lose the stability that they had worked so hard to build, you know. And probably this also has to do with the company or external influences, you know. Probably there are moments where they do feel uncertain about their future as a group, you know. If they will have a comeback, when will they have a comeback, when will they have, you know. I think that probably when they are on their own and they do not have a schedule, maybe he feels a bit like unstable, you know, in the sense that he worries because he wants all of them to be working. He wants the group to be successful, you know. And he wants, most of all, he wants all the members to get along. So yes, let's move on to Jedam. Yes, Jidam. I would call him Jedam. Oh, I don't know. Oh my God. Well, he is another Taurus. Jedam. I would call him Jedam. Jedam, he got the Two of Cups. So this is very lovely, actually, the Two of Cups. He is definitely very loving. I can sense his energy. He makes my heart like feel like butterflies. He's the sweetest. He's also very Venusian, because you know that Taurus males, they all are really beautiful and they are very stylish, but he's just like this small like fluff of love. I don't know why, but he's very sensitive at the same time. And this is what he brings. He brings connection. You know, the Two of Cups is the cup of love. But it's also the ability to connect with others through love. You know, it's not only about you being like, oh yes, I'm the representation of love, you know, or I'm lovable. No, it's much more about you being able to use the energy of love and connecting with others. Probably he's also very sensitive. He could be also a bit of a crybaby. I don't know why, but I get this, like he gets really emotional when he receives love as well. He's like, oh, because I sense that he definitely wants to help. He can be also a bit of an empathic, you know. He can be like an empath, someone very empathic. So he does have, you know, the ability to connect. And what he brings to the group dynamic is also a lot of emotion. It's also probably to say like the corniest things, or like the you know, like being really like corny, or a bit like he feels really embarrassed sometimes, but it's like he needs to tell people that he loves them or that he appreciates them, you know. Probably he's the one that he gets a bit emotional when he talks about what the others mean to him, you know. Probably he's also someone that he's just someone that is ready to love, you know. He's very lovable. I probably in his life he had been surrounded by a lot of love, so this is why he is very comfortable with talking about how he feels, you know, and how he appreciates the others. So this is beautiful. I love Jedam's energy, and it is nice also to have, you know, this, because like I mentioned, I think that I said that actually Majiho, Majiho was the one that he got the Ace of Cups, and now Jedam, he got the Two of Cups. So it seems like the first one opens the gates for love, and he is the one that continues the work. You know, he continues the work. He continues these loving feelings to flow among them, and this is really necessary, actually, guys. Just like we need the builders, we need the ones that give us reality check, the ones that are the responsible ones, the ones that are the serious ones, the ones that are workaholic, the ones that are the most passionate ones, you know, the ones that have this very straightforward nature, the ones that are very logical and they think a lot and they are very rational, you know, and they are always on their mind. You need the combination of this nature, and I think that it's lovable, and this is how we can actually appreciate the different dimensions of characters when the group has a lot of members. And then we have the last one, that is Jaehyuk. Jaehyuk, he's a Leo. Jaehyuk. Jaehyuk, he got the Three of Swords. So, yes. Actually, no, it's not the Three of Swords. It's the Three of Wands. So, yes, him like a Leo, actually, he's like an entertainer in a sense that he is also very passionate, in a sense that you can definitely sense his passion for his work, for what he does. He is also very emotional, in a sense that probably for him it's a dream come true to actually being able to be where he is right now. And he feels like it's his moment to shine, you know, that he's someone that he probably does have like uncertainties and fears of his own, but he will not let you see it, you know. He will just commit to work really hard, you know, really hard. He will commit to work really hard. There's something about his nature that actually he reminds me a bit about the other Leo, that is Asahi. But there's a bit difference in them, but they seem to be like also very, very, very different. Yes, I sense that Jaehyuk with this actually with this card, it's actually someone that is very, it's a bit more, his energy seems to be a bit more loosen up, you know, in the sense that he's not that obsessive with, you know, being perfect, you know. Probably he's like, okay, like I'm here, I'm going to have fun, you know, I'm in the right place, like I have to own my power, you know, I have to congratulate myself. And I also see him like really using his passion, his energy. He probably has a lot of stamina, because I can see him also being this kind of person that is always inspired, and he can bring like a lot of new ideas for the group as well. So him having the Three of Wands is actually, he could be also a bit of a visionary, you know. He could come up with really interesting ideas, and him being like, okay, we need to put this into work. You know, probably he doesn't have much patience, you know, he doesn't have, because I was paying attention that in the case of Asahi got the Seven of Pentacles. And in the case of that, I was talking about how he needs to build patience, you know. And in the case of Jaehyuk, that is also a Leo, he got the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is the card that talks about enterprise, you know, about you building your own empire, you know. You've been like, okay, I have all this energy, all this idea, all this potential, I have to show it to the world, you know. I have to get it out and show it, and like mix and combine it with others and make something out of this. I cannot be sitting around waiting. Probably he's a bit impatient, you know, and also a bit like it seems like a bit naive about things, but his intentions are really good, Probably he's like the one that is like, okay, let's do this, like, you know, like this energy build, you know. He's like, okay, let's go, let's do this, let's make things happen, let's move our energy, you know, let's show them who we are, you know, something like that. So it's really nice actually. So yes, guys, I think he is the last member that actually is part of the group that I read. So I'm happy I actually made it, and I hope that when I upload this, that this actually can be in good quality so you can actually listen to it. And I would appreciate, please, your support. If you have Treasure fans, or if you know Treasure fans that are interested into getting to know the boys more, and also that they like astrology and tarot, maybe you can share this video with them. It would help me a lot to actually have more Treasure fans here in my channel, because I do readings for them, because I like reading for them, but I also would like to have more fans actually giving feedback, you know, and being like, because I learn from you. So actually I appreciate to the people that always respond to me and are like, okay, I think that this is this and this. I truly appreciate your efforts also. So if you can actually add more people to my community and and just make my content reach to other people, it would mean a lot to me. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.